Today I am doing my ink review on Caffe Crema. And this is right there, Venice pens. I placed an order for some inks and they threw this in as just a little free gift. Thank you. So I kind of like that. Thank you, Venice. And the ink comes in a 50 milliliter bottle like this, and it's plastic. And today I did my ink review with my two Nemesis Singularities, my medium and my .06 stub. Now on to my color chart. It's a pretty brown, has like a little bit of a red hue to it. But if you look here in the chart, you can see how it acts differently on the different pieces of paper. And the reason why I do Bristol paper, because a lot of people do like a lot of card making, and the ink works good on Bristol. So if you're going to do some card making, hey, there you go. There's no sheen, has some shading. It's a pretty brown. Okay, let's go to our rodeo paper. Here's our rodeo paper. And here's my phrase, the little bird plays in the forest. Then the alphabet. Then my water drop test. Then my water test. If you lay it on thick enough, I think if you did get water on it, you could probably recover some of it. But yeah, no. I wouldn't recommend playing with water on this. It took 18 seconds to dry on the rodeo paper. No bleed through. Pretty good. Next is the Tomoe River paper. It's a really nice ink. It has a little bit of shading. And if you see here in the little scrubby with my .06, it makes it a little bit like you can see the red tone a little bit more. I like it in the medium. It took around about 40 seconds to dry. Yeah, it's kind of a wet ink, and Tomoe River paper, you know, it's known for that. But it did not shine through. It did not bleed. Pretty good. Next we have here is our Fabriano Eco-Cloth, if I could get it. And of course here you can see in the scrubby again the little red tone when you go with the .06. My phrase, the alphabet. It took 17 seconds to dry on the Fabriano. No bleed through or show through. Pretty good. Next we have our Staples copy paper. A lot of people call this trash paper because you can pick it up for dirt cheap. But hey, if you need to write on it, write on it. If you look here again on the scrubby with the .06, you can see the red tones more. But in the medium nib, you really can't. It looks like a nice, pretty brown. And of course, this soaks it up, so it only took like 4 seconds for it to dry and soak in. Flip it over. Ta-da! No bleed through. Show through if you probably look at it through the light. Next, we have mead paper. Pretty thin paper, pretty dirt cheap. You can pick it up anywhere for pennies. Yes, it did kind of thicken up the lettering because, you know, it soaks into the paper. But here again, in the .06 scrubby, you can see more of the red sheen in it. Not sheen, but red tone. I like it in the medium because it shows the brown. And yes, it did show through, bleed through. Yeah, especially my little scrubby here. Woo, diggity dog. Yeah. Next is my Post-it paper. I think it's on the frame. Brown on green. Yeah, you can see it. It writes. And of course, again, in the .06, it does see more redder than in the medium. So the color brown, it's a pretty color brown. It took 22 seconds to dry on this. It took a little bit longer than I thought it would, because all the other rubber oyster ink seemed to dry pretty quickly, like 17 seconds. On this one, it just stayed wetter. But anyway, this was my ink review on Caffe Crema. And it's a pretty brown. I like it. Oh, yeah. And my little scrubby on top, what I do is I use rodeo paper, pop it out, and make my own little sticker. So when I'm looking at it, I can see my true coloring. Because, you know, I like using rodeo. Well, I hope you enjoyed the ink review. And I hope it helps with your color choices. If all else fails, pick up some samples. Have fun, play with it like I did. If you have any comments or anything, I'll leave them down below, down there. And I'd like to hear from you. Alright, see you later.